I am Anna, and I am going to introduce very briefly our 50 plus Shades of Gothic conference series. PopMic is an academic association promoting the study of US popular culture and the representations of the US in pop culture and new media. Our main editorial outlet is the related peer-reviewed academic blog, and you can find all the links in the description below. This conference series is dedicated to the Gothic across genre and media in US popular culture, of course, and it is organized in different thematic sessions, delving into the study of Gothic modes in film, TV series, comics, graphic novels, video games, genre fiction, and theatrical performances. Our thematic sessions are: 1, the house as Gothic locus, plus the uncanny and the US family. 2, Gothic and the ethnic other, plus bodies and boundaries. 3, eco-Gothic. 4, bodies and boundaries, plus gender, sexuality, and the Gothic. 5, children and young adults Gothic stuff. 6, automata, cyber terror, and technocratic realities. I'll leave you now with a brief description of each of them, and I thank you for attending our conference series, and I hope you will enjoy it.
Hi, this is Sofía.
Hello, my name is Mónica.
We are coordinating the session, The House as Gothic Locus and the US Family.
Why should we keep studying the Gothic?
Because it allows us to confront our fears even when they appear in the most unexpected places, like our homes.
There must be something specific about the house, because it keeps appearing in every Gothic fiction that you can think of. Since the publication of The Castle of Otranto, the first Gothic novel by the author Horace Walpole, we have had houses across the years and the styles of every of Gothic literature and film. That is why we have invited scholars from different areas of specialization to help us understand what's so special about the house, so that we have them everywhere where there is a Gothic fiction.
So if you're interested in topics ranging from the uncanny in the neoliberal state to suburban Gothic, come see our session for the 50 plus Shades of Gothic organized by PopMic.
Hope to see you there.
Bye.
Welcome to the session Gothic and the Ethnic Other plus Bodies and Boundaries of our 50 plus Shades of Gothic conference series. I am Anna.
And I am Paula. If I have to think of how the Gothic interacts with ethnic issues and boundaries in just one word, I could say othering.
Gothic modes have definitely been exploited to convey anxieties related to xenophobia and challenge the boundaries of conformity, whether to stick to conservative views and monstering the other,
or to articulate narratives from the minority point of view and disrupt the boundaries imposed by society.
The body of the other often comes into play and helps constructing Gothic otherness.
Gothic modes also allow for the tackling of intersectional discrimination.
If you're interested in this kind of topics and issues, you're welcome to join us. See you there.
Bye.
Hello everyone, welcome to the 50 plus Shade of Gothic conference series organised by PopMic Association for US Popular Culture Studies, and to the third thematic session of this series, the Eco-Gothic. If I have to describe the Eco-Gothic in just one word, I would say terrifying. As to what the Gothic has to do with the non-human world, with the Eco-Gothic in the context of American culture and history, I would say that they are more or less embedded in each other. Early American Gothic writers in the 19th century were concerned with the horror of reforestation, with the anxiety rooted in frontier wilderness and in unknown lands with hidden danger. Then in the 20th century, we see the works of H.P. Lovecraft, for example, which draw on the mysteries of non-human world to show his horror of the First World War and racial prejudices, and also to decenter the superior position of humans. In our contemporary moment, we see elements of the eco-Gothic present in the works of Jeff Van der Meer and Cormac McCarthy, challenging our perceived notions of non-humans and humans, and exploring the horror of human activities and the idea of the American frontier. Given the ecological crises that we are in, I think that it's prime time that we discuss the eco-Gothic. So welcome to our conference series.
Hello and welcome to the 50 Plus Shades of Gothic series brought to you by PopMag. This particular session focuses on bodies, of course Gothic bodies. In both the Gothic and in horror, bodies are significant because they kind of make manifest various fears and anxieties, both individual and cultural. And if I were asked to use one word to characterize bodies in relation to the Gothic mode, it would probably be transgression. This is for primarily two reasons. First, when we think of all the iconic monsters from vampires and zombies to Frankenstein's creature and freaks, if you will, they are very much defined by their transgressive traits. They subvert norms, they collapse differences, they question the borderlines between life and death, nature and culture, and so on. Second, these in-world Gothic bodies are generally meant to evoke, to generate corporeal responses in viewers, readers, and players, and so on. Thus, the bodies represented in Gothic and horror tales in a way transgress the boundaries separating fictional worlds from our experienced realities. So much for my brief introduction to this session. We are very much looking forward to presenting you our keynote interviews, and we're of course also looking forward to the presentations in this thematic cluster.
Hello everyone and welcome. In our section, Children and Young Adults Gothic Stuff, we center their attention on the relationship we have with the Gothic during our early phases of life and on the effects that this relationship can have in the shaping of our personality. For this reason, if I had to find a word that better expresses the result of the children and young adults' encounter with the Gothic, that would be growth. When we think about children, we are used to imagining innocent, vulnerable creatures unable to bear fear, violence, or creepiness. What we often forget is that even if they can be highly emotional, children are strong and totally able not only to watch and read Gothic, but also to enjoy it. Fear is a big component in the shaping of everyone's identity, and learning to deal with it is also learning to deal with life. We have a lot of great examples of Gothic productions in the pop culture that influenced our life when we were kids and still have the power to influence the next generation. In these conferences, we will have the pleasure to discuss this with some experts of the children and young adults Gothic stuff. See you there.
Our thematic session, Automata, Cyber Terror and Technocratic Realities, aims to respond to the increasing horror narratives that deal with the digital and technology. I will say that to speak of cyber terror is to speak of nostalgia, a nostalgia for an easier and idealized past with greater self-ownership and a more direct and honest relationship to others and to nature. And cyber terror expresses this nostalgia through a conceptualization of contemporary cultural anxieties that deal with our dependency on technology. And the more dependency and attachment that any potential threat is able to establish, the more it can hurt us. And nowadays we depend on technology for almost every single aspect of our lives. So in this context, we trust that technology is going to continue to be there at our service and that whoever is in control wants the best for us. But it is precisely in this effective lack of control that the cyber terror emerges to express the anxiety of losing our privacy and not being able to understand the machines that effectively control our lives.